Obviously, I cut myself off. So I've got my circle skirt here. This will be part 2. All right. This is what I had to redo. Let me go this way, see a little better. All right, so this is what I had to redo. This piece and this piece. The middle skirt and the circle skirt got some black spots on it. Again, I'm sure it was from Miss Margaret. My taking the dress off at the bottom instead of pulling it over her head. I know Miss Margaret said, don't blame me because you made that mistake. Okay, Miss Margaret, I won't blame you. And so we have to reattach it to this skirt right here. This is the front. This is the front of the circle skirt we got, and this is where I took it off. So we're going to go back in and attach this circle skirt to the back to the front. All right, so I'm going to do that right now. So I can take all of these pieces to the ironing board, give them a good iron, get this purple pin off of, I'm taking my pins out, get this purple pin where I traced off the hemline. You probably can't see it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah. Again, it's going to disappear with steam. You'll see in just a minute. All right. Okay, so just so you can see what I'm talking about, you see, I'm going to write on my fabric with this pen. This is a friction clicker. Friction clicker 007. The lighting is not that good in here. I'm going to have to readjust that. Hold on a minute. Okay, I think that's better. So anyway, this is the pen. I want to show you what I'm talking about when I say it is for marking on fabric, but it will disappear with steam. So I'm going to take my pen. Let me do it in the camera so you can see it's the same pen and a piece of fabric. Okay. I'm going to open. See? Right here. Okay. I'm going to write on my fabric. Right there. Now, this is my dart that I'm getting ready to iron. All right. When I come back, you're going to see that this marking is gone. Okay, so voila. See, the marking is gone on both sides. Get you some of these pins. It'll make your life so much easier. Okay, I'm going to run a stay stitch around the top of the opening of the circle skirt. Just going to run a quick stay stitch here. Now, remember I said my goal was to be done by the end of December, really. And then January, I pushed it out to January, and I had some ordering issues. Remember, I had to wait on the lace, and then I had to wait on my darning foot, and then I had to wait on having some time to sew because remember, I'm in school full time. So, no excuses, that's just life. Okay, so the stay stitch is in. I'm going to attach this to the, I'm going to attach the back of the skirt, this piece of the back to, I didn't iron this one. Hold on a second. Let's just center that. everything is white. It's hard to see everything. Okay. All right, this is the front. This can be crazy sometimes. This is the front. This is the side seam. This is the back. And that's the side seam. That is center back. Okay. Here's my side seams right here. This is the middle skirt. This is the middle skirt. I feel like I'm going really fast, but I'm not really. I'm not really going really fast, but I am going fast because I'm actually on a timeline. I have to be live at 7 o'clock. So, okay. You know, sometimes it takes a while to get down here to my sewing space, but man, when I get down here, it's like I just don't want to quit. I just want to keep going to the next part and the next part and the next part. Unfortunately, that's not always an option. Are you serious? Ugh. Okay. All right. You're gonna have to ease on down the road. Ease on down the road. That's a little too tight there. Tension. Come on and ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Ease on down the road. Okay, it is suggested on bridal satin that you give just a little bit of tension to that bridal satin. This is the skirt. We're going to be putting a zipper in here, so I do not want to sew it all the way down, but I will sew it down to this bodice is. I will sew it down. Let go to the depth of where the bodice is. All right, so this is the back. This is the skirt. I have a 20-inch zipper. I need to give myself 5/8 of an inch, 3/8 at the neckline, 1/2 an inch at the waistline. 5/8 of an inch. So we need 20 inches. At least that's where my zipper is supposed to be. It needs to go down far enough so that whoever's hips are going in the dress, it can fit in the dress. So whatever that is. Right now, I really don't like my face being in the camera, especially when I don't have any makeup on. So we need 3/8 of an inch, so that's 3/8 down here. And then I need 20 inches down the back for the zipper. At least that's what I'm, oh, we don't want 20, that's way down there. Do we want 20? That's 5. Down to 12 is 9 inches. Probably don't need that much. I'm going to say 16. Probably 16 inches. Yeah, we'll do 16 and then see how. I can always take the seam up a little bit more if 16 is too long. All right, so let's do that. We're going to go ahead and close this back here. Okay. Stop. So we're going to go down 16 inches to the hemline. Go down from 16 inches at the top of the middle skirt, down 16 inches. Start at that point and sew down to the hemline of the middle skirt. Okay, that's where we're at right now. Trying to give you guys at least a good half hour of content. Whoever thought that I would ever be doing YouTube content? I never thought it, never thought it. Outside of Monday Manna anyway, definitely not sewing. Okay, middle skirt is done. One thing about this fabric, it definitely frays, so you might want to get some fray check if you know, when I say it frays, I mean it frays. Look at this. So, and that's the hemline. It's not a big deal because it is the hemline, but you know, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, it frays everywhere. This is bridal satin that I got from Joanne. I love it though because I love the feel of it, but I also love the look of it. Just know that some of your satins are going to fray, and be prepared for that. Right? Just be prepared for that. Okay, so the skirt, let me show you what we're doing. This lace is just so beautiful. Yes. All right, so let me show you what we're doing with the skirt. Where is the front of it? All right, let me turn. We've got the middle skirt here. We've got the lining of the middle skirt. We've got the interlining of the middle skirt. So we've got the lining, we've got the interlining, so we've got 2 layers here. And that's the other thing I'm learning. The gown is going to grow depending on how many linings or how many pieces you put in here. The fabric, the underlining, interlining, and the lining. So you'll have 4 layers. All right, so that's the middle skirt. This is the middle skirt here. That's the lining for the middle skirt. This is the middle skirt here. So these 2 are ready to go. All right. Now, we're going to put that to the side. We're going to work on our big old circle skirt. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and iron out these seams where I had to take the skirt apart. I need to iron that flat to give me a better result. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to attach this circle skirt back to the circle skirt back to the front. All right, so the circle skirt here, we've got this, which is the one that already has the lining attached to it. We've got this here, which is the replacement for the back. And I'm going to pin it together here on both sides and sew it down the seams. All right, here we go. We are connecting back that circular back skirt. Okay. These threads, whence they came. Ah, see what I mean? I just went over a pin. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. I really want you to see that. Can you see that? That pin is no longer straight. I don't think you can see it actually. Anyway, it's crooked. I just went over it with my needle. That tells me I need to replace my needle like as soon as I'm done with this. And I think my needle's broken. It's not broken, but the thread certainly did come out of it. I might as well replace it with a new one right now because I already know. It needs to be replaced. So let's do that. And that is why you take the needles out. That is why you take the needles out. I mean the pins out as you sew, as you go. Take them out as you go because that is what can happen, and typically that is what does happen. Then you have to replace your needle. Oh gosh, come on people. Okay, I'm going to use a size 12 because it is bridal satin and it's not thin, it's not thick, super thick, but it's not super thin like a organza or a chiffon. So I need at least a size 12. Okay, and where's my thread? I'm glad that happened. I'm not glad that happened, but for a teaching moment, I'm glad that happened. I was so busy trying to rip and run through this that I didn't even follow my own advice, and look what happened. Okay, so here we go. All right, on the road again. Okay, so I'm just going to go back a few stitches from where I left off. Move my scissors out of the way before I accidentally hurt myself. And here we go. And that, my friend, is why when you get to a pin, take that thing out. Now, the only other way that you won't have to really be concerned about taking the pins out is if you put them in your seam allowance here. If you put them within your seam allowance and there's no big head, like, okay, I guess this is a teaching moment right here. Okay, so you can put your pin in your seam allowance this way, parallel with the seam. This way. Can you see that? Parallel with the seam? And you won't have to worry about taking them out, except unless it has a huge head on it like this pin does. Now, if you're using a pin like this, just a satin pin, I guess is what it would be called, and you put it in the seam allowance. to hold your fabric together this way, then more than likely you're not going to run over that head, right? So I will show you what I mean by that. So now I'm coming up to, I don't know if you can see it, so let me move you closer. Oh, I don't want to make a mess on my fabric. This is crazy. Okay, how can I get you to see this? No, I know how. Alrighty. So see how the pen is here in the seam allowance? It's got a small head on it, and I'm gonna just do a couple of stitches. See, I went right past the pen and it had no problem because it's parallel to the seam allowance. Now that's the other way that you can get out of taking your pins out of your fabric. Otherwise, I suggest you take them out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sew up the other side and get started on the lace of the bodice with my new little gadget, my darning foot. And yep, I think that's what we're going to do today.